to the Torq Hub Podcast. Find us on all your favourite podcast platforms or watch us on YouTube.
We got sound? I hope our sound is doing better than what it was on the intro there.
Bit shitty?
It did seem a bit shitty, yeah. But, you know, this is live and we've never done this before, so this is what you get. Let us know how we fare there, fellas. If you can hear us, give us a shout out. Should be all right. Just check the properties here. Sound check okay. Sweet. Nice. All right. Excellent. We're here.
All go?
I think so. Well, welcome everybody. Episode 12 of the Torq Hub Podcast. 1 year since we kicked it off and added it to our list of content. That's gone quick.
Very quick, actually.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we made it this far.
You and me both. But I thought we'd do something a little bit different this time.
Yes,
do it live.
Jeff's been very busy
Oh, man.
in chords and downloading software and stuff.
Trying to learn how to use it and doing all that thing. So,
Hard work,
welcome. Hope you're all enjoying. How many people we got here? I don't even know. I can't even see. It doesn't really matter. Video check's okay. Look at that. Sound check's okay. Adrian, keeping him up on a school night. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. We knew it was going to be a bit of a hard sell, I guess, but truth be told, you, Kurt, you go away tomorrow. It's school holidays and our wives have dragged us away from the shed. They've told us that, you know, we got to spend some time with the family. You know, probably fair enough, to be fair. And, so Kurt's going away tomorrow. I'm going away on Sunday. It just so happened that the merch was ready today, thankfully. Massive thanks to all you guys who jumped in on the merch.
Yeah, thanks heaps.
I don't think we've really covered that because it was still, the pre-sale was still going last podcast. So it was impressive. You guys very, very well got around us.
Yeah,
I should say.
Support was really, really good.
Yeah, super pumped on that. So thank you guys, every single one of you. Couple of lucky ducks, they got their gear early because obviously our sample order, we had some leftover gear and I managed to fulfill a couple of orders. So we got some lucky ducks that have already got their hands on theirs. Steve Curtis, he's already in the comments. I managed to drop his off today because he lives not far from us.
He's in the locality.
That's right. And I was packing the orders. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to drop this one off. So he got his today in person. Everyone else pretty much should have got their tracking numbers, bar one fella, but he will get his tracking number later on tonight. What's been going on, dude?
Not much.
You've literally just come
fresh off night shift, so
Yeah.
I'm flat as all buggery, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, not much.
I'm singing a couple of rares tonight. It's actually a funny story. I went to a local drive-through bottle-o and the fella there, he was in a fluster. He told me, I rocked up 2 minutes late to work today, man. I'm copping it. And I rocked up like as he got there. Got these rares and he goes, oh, did you know they were on special? I was like, no, man, that's just a happy coincidence. And he's just like, oh, payday today. Might treat myself to some rares. I'm like, oh, be rude not to, mate.
It would be
He goes,
extremely rude.
And it's awesome because I've just met this new chick and she's real cool. And I'm like, oh, nice, man. And he goes, yeah, I got to help her like put her bed together tonight. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And like help her test it out. And he goes, oh, I never thought of that.
How could you not think of that?
I was like, come on, man, structural integrity. Jeez. And he was just like, you're an ideas man. I was like, come on, dude. This bird that he's just met has invited him around to help her put her bed together. Come on. Read the room, bro.
Jeez. Just spoon feeding him and still not taking it.
Unbelievable. But anyway, so I've got some rares on special. I've got them in a koozie because, you know.
Koozie?
Yeah. I'll adopt that.
Oh,
koozie.
okay.
Koozie's easier to say than stubby holder.
Okay.
I know it sounds a bit weird though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
YouTube gets a bit weird about it. So anyway, what's been going on to all the people in the comments there? Chime in. We got a few punters on board. Motorfab, Tirana,
Oh, yeah. Just going to hit off the bat.
straight up.
Off the bat.
That thing has been doing the rounds, and I mean, we were following that build when it first started, and obviously the channel went real quiet because the dude
Got
clearly
busy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, like, trying to film everything you do
Yeah.
would hinder any sort of progress
Wild, right?
or efficiency?
Yeah. But we've been following him for a while. Obviously, that sweet twin turbo HT Ute of his, which that was a wild car, mid-7 car, wasn't it? Yeah, mid-7 second.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the Monaro.
The junkyard Monaro?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a junkyard car with a junkyard 454 with some marketplace parts and a nitrous kit. Put that together to race. Well, he didn't put it together to race farm truck, but he did end up using it to race farm truck during the MPK series. And I think that's what introduced him to these people who he's now involved with for doing this Tirana. So there was like a mad thrash over the last 2 months to get that thing together when it was pretty much just a chassis with a body draped over it and nothing else for the most part. And now it's all fully together, ready for PRI. And I'm assuming that he linked up with a few of those dudes when the MPK series was going on, and man, it looks Hollywood.
I like
Carbon
the colour. I don't even like blue, but it looks really good.
Yeah. It's a take on the original sort of blue of an LCLJ, but then I think he's got some metallic and some pearl in it, just to make it that little
Is
bit
it
special.
paint? It's paint, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I
thought it
believe
was
so.
wrapped.
Yeah.
For some
No.
reason, I thought it was wrapped. I don't know.
No, it's painted. And that looks sick. I'm a big fan.
Oh,
All the carbon
yeah.
fiber, the powder coated intercooler piping in the interior and stuff. It looks so good. And that thing's gunning for 6-second quarter passes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, what's the word for it? That'll be something to contend with for sure. What have you been seeing?
Not much.
Not much.
I did see something cool, but I haven't got enough info on it, so I wasn't going to bring it up. But
Well,
there was a guy.
We are live. Some people might be able to tune in.
There was just a random video I seen the other day of a guy that had, I can't remember what sort of car it was, some sort of a hot rod. It was an American guy.
Yeah.
And he was running his car on hydrogen. It was a supercharged LS. It had like a really nice sort of rotating assembly in it. It was sort of really overbuilt. I'm making like 500 horsepower on hydrogen. And it sounded exactly like a normal petrol. Like it sounded exactly the same.
Yeah, right.
Zero emissions, an actual true zero emission deal. Very
Wow.
cool. I was going to do a bit more research on it and bring it up, but I haven't had time.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I've got on my mind at this very second.
Yeah.
It's cooked night shift brain of mine.
Yeah. Did you keep up to date with the drag week stuff? We were both
No,
kind of
I
working
didn't.
while it was
No.
happening.
No,
So
not at all.
I kept an eye on the leaderboard sort of every day. I'd have a quick squiz, and shout out to Broomy. He put up a video with some highlights from Mike from WA Racing Developments.
Yeah, I did see that. Had a Nova, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
I did see
Nova
that.
over there. Actually, look at that. Broomy's here. G'day,
Yeah,
Broomy.
yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, so they went over and they were in I think it was the Street Fighter small block power out of class. Did well, man. Like, real well. 775, I think, was their average over the week. Came second in their class.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. And, it wasn't without its struggles. Obviously, drag week is pretty punishing on the gear and the people. So they had a couple of minor issues along the way, but they made it to the end and coming away with
That's
second.
a victory in
I
itself.
was going to say,
right
yeah.
there.
It's coming home with the second place trophy when finishing is...
It's pretty cool, isn't it? Like, all the way from little old WA.
yeah.
We're like the Wild West, just even in this small country. So to be on the world stage and doing that well is actually pretty remarkable, really. And it just goes to show the sort of talent that we do have in the country and specifically in this state of WA.
Yeah.
We've definitely got a good core group of guys that are very passionate and very knowledgeable and have the go in them to make it happen.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I love the Melbourne streetcar scene. I love the flavour that adds, the Melbourne streetcar style and that. But honestly, I reckon WA turns out some of the most aggressive cars, bar none. Like when you look at the stuff that, say, George Saparovich turns out, the stuff that Jeff Johnson gets his hands on, and, Mike Dino himself, he gets around some really serious cars. There's some amazing workmanship that comes out, and I reckon fella that recently passed, Nigel Waugh, he has a stable full of really tough cars, the HQ,
elite level stuff.
Yeah, the HQ that won Red Centre Nationals the year that we went. There's some amazing cars that comes out of Perth.
Yeah.
So hats off to those guys for going to the States and putting it sort of on the world stage for everyone to see. I don't think there were any other Aussies that joined the procession this year. Usually you'll see like Benny's Custom Works and, those sorts of dudes. The other Ben fella with the Fox body and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were part of it this year, but yeah, it was interesting watching the highlight reels, and thanks to Broomy for bringing it to us, and thanks to Kev and Mike and all that for filming while you're over there and getting the footage to us.
Yeah,
it was wicked.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was
very good.
Probably not something that I want to harp about too long, but Power Cruise Queensland happened between our last podcast and now. Looks like it was a ripper turnout. Obviously heavily overshadowed by one single event where unfortunately someone's passed away. What do you reckon? I don't understand. When I first saw the video that it was sent to me, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. I wasn't sure if it was a wheel that had come off the car or like a bag or whatever. Then to find out that someone's been ejected from the car. How does that happen? I mean, that thing was obviously putting down some power and it had a big tyre on it, you'd think that it would have had harnesses.
Yeah. Oh, how it happened, yeah.
It's neither here nor there at this point.
Neither here nor there, but the thing I got out of it is just a reminder, of
absolutely
how serious just speed is, because you never realise how fast you're going until you're sort of out of control, or at least you get split seconds of where you go, damn, that was a bit scary.
And it's not even
a little moment.
And it's not even if you've got good ground speed at the time of incident, but if you've got an acceleration rate behind you, then that deceleration then has to act upon that force, and then that becomes exponentially greater.
Yeah, we've seen it. I've seen it a few times over the years. Cars going
Getting
upside
loose.
down at different events, Gazanats and Collie, and I think it was at Barbagallo one year. I think the Tirana rolled there as well. So.
I remember
it
that
can
one.
easily happen, especially when you hit the grass and stuff.
Yeah, I remember watching that LH at Collie. It was a Gazanat's event where he ended up parked.
I think it was Wild LH, wasn't it?
Might have been, yeah. And he ended up parked on like a water barrier. I was just like, oh.
Yeah. No, it's just a reminder, really, to that shit can happen. Shit can and does happen, and it always happens at the worst time.
Yeah.
So that's all it was for me. It was just a stark reminder, and it just sort of kind of wrecked my afternoon after seeing that,
Yeah.
Because it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
Does it make you worried for an event like Power Cruise? Not necessarily for someone crashing into your car, but just does it? Because obviously you say it, put it to the front of your mind. Does it make you worried? Like, shit, that could happen to me.
Nah, not really.
No.
Because anyone would know when you're driving, you sort of think you're in control, So I don't know. I don't think I would get like that, but you never know, really. I guess it's just a reminder. It's probably just something to, as you get older, these things get more prevalent in the front of your mind, really.
Yeah.
The main thing I get concerned about if I went to one of those events would be just someone crashing into me.
I found
because
that
I don't really like the way a lot of people drive around other people's cars.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I found that having kids totally changed my outlook on just about everything. You know, like, and it's something that was totally unexpected for me, for that to happen. But yeah, like that changed my outlook on all kinds of situations. And it's just like, you definitely take the more conservative approach now.
Yeah, that's a part of just getting a little older, I think.
Yeah.
Even though we're not old yet, but getting older.
Yeah.
Because you don't bounce back as much either. Even when you ride bikes or do whatever.
No.
You're like, if I fall, I got to go to work. I get sore just getting my ass out of bed some mornings. So.
Yeah. And it's funny because like now our kids are getting to the age where like they're starting to ride dirt bikes. So we're thinking like, oh, maybe we'd get another dirt squirter again. But then it's like, you check your sick leave.
Check your insurance cover.
Yeah. You're like, can I really afford to break my collarbone?
Again.
Yeah. I haven't. This isn't a wood table. Fuck.
Yeah.
But,
You're done.
I haven't broken it. I fractured my neck on a quad when I was.
That's what you get for riding quads.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was on a farm, and it was on the farm quad, so you could probably give me a leave of absence there. But
So, but other than that, it looked like a really good event. I think
Yes.
Queensland one always probably looks the best. Probably one of the better setups.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I heard roll racing that was on in Perth this past week. That was really good as well.
Yeah, I saw Rob Rand's post on Facebook. Shout out Rob Rand. He said he was the only 5 litre there. Caden reckons we're not old yet.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was apparently
He reckons he's the only 5 litre there, but he said it was a really good turnout and a lot of fun. Like everyone was chill. Everyone was, good to get around, and I would love to do it. The problem for us is that it's so far away. Barbagallo, because if you're not sure of the geography, I guess, or it's called Carco Raceway now. It's not Barbagallo's, but
oh, really?
Yeah,
There you
got
go.
a new major sponsor. Carco Raceway is in Wanneroo, which is like the far northern end of Perth. The Motorplex is on the other end of Perth. It's like on the far south end. So we're about an hour and 20-ish, hour and a half, let's say an hour and a half from the Motorplex, or thereabouts. But then to get from the Motorplex to Carco Raceway is probably nearly another hour.
Oh, easy. I reckon. Last time I went there, the traffic was ridiculous. So it took I think it took nearly 2 hours because it was just like stopped.
Yeah.
That freeway is. It
A
just
joke.
seems like it's going to be like a fucking 2-decade project to just add an extra lane in. It's ridiculous.
And by the time that lane is added, then they need to add another 2 more.
Yeah.
Because exponential growth
I hate going up there with a passion.
Yeah. But by the time you got there and you do the racing and whatever, getting home, it's a late one.
Yeah.
It is a real late one. It'd be good if you live in North Perth. You could sort of go there, do the race, come home. It'd be a good night out, but it's just
Just anywhere in Perth, really.
probably, yeah. That's just an extended thing for us.
Yeah.
West Coast Nationals was another one. Speaking of the Motorplex, that happened not long ago. That was the debut for Aidan Stampali as, wow. I say the debut. It debuted at Summernats with the borrowed blown LS combo, but this was the debut with the engine that it was supposed to have for Summernats with the R5 P7.
I haven't even seen
engine.
any videos of it yet.
I saw a couple of videos of it power skidding. We were obviously working, so we didn't get there. A lot of people asked us if we were going, but couldn't make it. But I saw a couple of videos of it power skidding down the quarter mile, and the RPM it holds, holy.
Yeah.
That thing is wild. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, I don't think.
No.
No.
He's got that thing sitting so low. It looks so good.
Yeah. What have we got here? I thought I was getting a message from someone saying that your stream had stopped. But no, it's all good. We're still good. Are we still good? Seems like the chat's gone a bit quiet.
Cranked Customs and Fabrications. Been with us since day dot. Thanks, mate.
Hey, thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. What else have we got there?
The Broomy was just mentioned, which was a really good point. Dragway at the Bend.
Oh,
How good does that look? I've seen some pictures and stuff of that. looks
Yeah.
really good. They all look like the Motorplex, don't they?
Well, look,
I think it's the same guy, like the same person or people are designing. They're like
Yeah,
they design
okay.
tracks all over the world.
well, look. If it ain't
I
broke,
believe anyway. Yeah.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Like Perth Motorplex is a world class facility. Western Sydney, is it still called that? Western Sydney International Dragway.
I don't know.
That's basically built on the same blueprint, just mirrored.
Yeah.
And the bend looks a little bit different, like
Yeah.
the burnout pad and stuff looks a bit different, but
Yeah, it's a
overall
bit
the
it looks like it looks more like Sydney's than it does ours.
yeah, but
And I think also I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but I think the burnout pad's on one side, but the return row's on the other.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah,
I think it is. Yeah.
yeah,
so-
okay,
Which is a good idea.
yeah. Oh man, I reckon it just looks sick. It looks, and it's obviously fresh and nice, and there's already people running fast times because it's a brand new track, and they've got fresh prep, and they would have brought, all the good prep guys over there to get it going.
Yeah.
But I would love to get to Adelaide,
Yeah.
and not
And
only
it's close too. It's the closest for us.
and it's still not close. Still a long fucking way away,
Yeah, that is true.
but it is closer. Yeah, and I wonder how close it is in proximity to like the Bend racetrack. I'm assuming it's like in the same like plot of land. Like I wonder sheer distance, like if you were to go from the circuit to the drag strip, how far are we talking?
Yeah.
I'm assuming
I
it'd
mean,
be
we
nice and close.
could have researched that, or we could
We
bring up
probably
Google
could've.
Maps or something.
Mate, if I had half a second to scratch my ass, I probably would have chosen to scratch my ass instead of research that because I literally haven't had
It's
any
always
time.
a good option.
But it would be awesome because they've got like a hotel there. They got like,
On the track in the middle, is it? Or
I think so.
like
yeah.
the one in New Zealand that they do as well. I think they've got that at one of the New Zealand circuits.
Yeah, right.
I think.
Yeah. How cool would that be? Just like book a room with a nice hotel room with a warm shower. That's the way that you'd want to do it, eh?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't hate it. It'd be a good way to get the missus on board though.
Oh yeah, true. It's it can be a hard sell saying that you're gonna be swagging it or whatever. Just trying to, I don't know if this chat thing's working. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat in this window. I've got like a separate screen going. Oh yeah, here we go. Holy moly, yeah, okay. Yep. The video and the audio are a bit out of sync. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it getting better? Hopefully it's getting better.
That I can't handle that when it does that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like an old Japanese like
Kung
ninja
Pao.
movie or something.
Is
Eh?
it Kung Pao? Just need to drink more and it gets better. There you go. Very good. What else we got? When I became a parent, I lost 0.4 of a second at Collier Motorplex. Ooh, interesting. I wonder what...
What,
is
can you
that-
put it back? Try and put it back.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Imagine that. Just gaining half a second by giving your kid back.
How's the cheek on him though, blaming the kid?
Hey, that's a new excuse. It wasn't because it was down on compression. It wasn't because the suspension setup was all fucked. It's because he had a kid.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Okay, so the Bend circuit to the strip is a 2-minute drive. So it's not like walking, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Ricky. Ricky was the first one in on the merch drop. Did you see that? It was like when we
no.
put the video out and we announced that the pre-orders were open, he was in there. He was like, bam. He's been waiting the longest for his shirt than anyone. Hopefully this isn't too annoying, the video and the audio out of sync. It'll be fine for those if you are listening on Spotify after the fact, because I will download this and it will be available on your podcast platforms after. It probably won't be the most exciting podcast to listen to because we're kind of
Bouncing off this thing.
Yeah, it's a bit weird being live, but it will be the thing. So the hotel at the Bend is on Pitt Straight. You can book a room for a roll racing night. That'd be sick. Yeah,
That would be sick.
because
Roll racing's definitely sort of gaining a lot of traction, eh?
Yeah.
Is that a pun? There's almost a pun there, right? But
I was waiting for you to.
No, well, it wasn't really. It was just accidental. But yeah, it's definitely getting bigger. I especially noticed like in obviously the cars that usually reign supreme, the GDR stuff and the Evo stuff. Like, you've got the where do they mainly do it? Sydney, isn't it? Sydney Motorsport.
Yep.
That's where the big ones are, and the guys from bloody Melbourne, like, they've got the good rivalry there. That's what you need. You've got your Matuk versus your CRDs or whatever, whichever big shops, and it's really cool.
Getting after it.
Yeah.
And then Gup does his like Street Outlaws drag stock, like, no prep. Same thing at Sydney Motorsports Park. That's pretty cool. They got a massive straight there. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's almost too long, though. Almost.
But if we had that similar sort of setup, say at Carco Raceway, that'd be a prime option. You could go book a room for the roll racing night and then come home the next morning.
Yeah, definitely.
If you didn't have work the next day or something,
yeah,
that'd be sick, because there's not really any accommodation options close by either.
Yeah.
Unless,
you've got to head back towards the city, don't you?
Yeah. But then even then, like...
And even that'll be a pain in the ass.
Imagine if you're taking a car trailer and shit, Like, not everyone's going to be brave enough to drive their car there, roll race it and drive it home because, the obvious.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would be a prime option. Jamboree, 4th of November at the Bend. That's good. That's good to hear that they're already... signing up some, big events early in the piece. I know they wanted to be ready for the No Prep Kings thing, but it was, like...
Way off.
Yeah.
Next year if they come. I wonder how much of a success it was for the Pilgrim.
Well, I guess they don't know yet because it hasn't aired here. Or I don't know if it's aired in the States or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's going to have to make money if they want to come back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, see the potential for it to make money.
People will watch it, won't they? It's not like they're not going to watch it.
No.
It's just whether more people watch it and how much it cost them. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing bad come from them coming anyway, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Let's go over to... Do you have any Marketplace morons?
No.
I think I can play the jingle, but I can't obviously bring up the graphic. Let me see. This has never been tried before, so... No, look at that.
Go on.
Yeah. It's like Road Connect has totally done a factory reset, so I don't have any of my things. That's okay. Just go without. This is live, people. This is the problem with live shit. Feels like I'm watching Monkey Magic. Nice. Liam, how can we add to our original order? If you had have emailed, I could have. I could have added to your order, but yours has been sent today. If I hadn't known that you're in Busselton for the weekend, then we probably could have organised for you to get it while you're down here. But it is on the Ozpost truck on its way out to the Goldfields. So... if you'd like to place another order, you can. Actually, that's another point. If you missed out on the pre-order, or if you've got the FOMO and you really wish that you had have got in and bought a shirt, I have updated the website. There is basically any potential profit, and let's be honest, we make like $3 a shirt. Any potential profit there was from the pre-order, we pumped straight back into buying more shirts as stock. So we've got a limited number across all sizes of the white shirt, which is the one I'm wearing tonight, the Pick Your Poison shirt. We've got a restock on the black Torq Hub shirts. We didn't order any more hoodies because obviously it's going into summer, but we do still have some hoodies left over. So if you would like to get yourself some merch, if you did miss out and you've been regretting it ever since, you can go to the website now, torqhub.com.au. I've updated the website and you can place an order. Like I said, I'm going away. You're going away tomorrow. I'm going away on Saturday. So if you do want it out ASAP, get your order in soon. Otherwise, you'll be waiting a week until I get home, which isn't that big of a deal. But poor Ricky, he's been waiting probably what seems like
forever. Well, it's already a week longer than it should have been because did the pre-order date out by a week, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was meant to do. That's funny, actually. I was meant to do a 2-week pre-order. That's what we'd agreed we were going to do. It was going to be 2 weeks. But then when we filmed the thing and we're like, right, what's that date going to be? And we looked at the calendar and we fucked it up and we turned it into
You looked at the calendar. You told me the date and I miraculously remembered it first shot.
Well, you didn't correct me, so I'm saying we.
We have to own everything, don't we?
We. What are you, French? We. So yeah. Struggling with motivation to finish my car because it keeps fighting me through the steps. None of my mates are into cars at the moment, and I don't want to help. Any tips for motivation? Find yourself, not saying get rid of your mates because they're your mates, right? But find yourself some mates that are into cars.
To be fair, it's not like any of our mates are really come around very often. You know, we got a couple, but it's not like we got tons and tons of
being shift
people. You know, like
being shift workers makes it hard. So like, you know,
I guess we got people we could call on if we wanted to, but for the most part, it's just
you and I.
Me and you and a couple of other people if we need a specific profession or whatever. Or
I'm sure if we ask
anyone we ask would come and help for sure. But
I think people probably just leave us to it because they know it's like a video thing, and they probably go, "Oh, we're just going to leave them to it." Like if they were happy to be on video and whatever, they could come and help out. But yeah, like I say, if we called on some people, I'm sure they would. But yeah, we generally do it ourselves. If you can find that one person who's semi-proficient, and we are not fully proficient by any means, we sort of make it up as we go along sometimes, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Basically, the only thing that we don't have to make up on the fly is the welding, because, you know, that's kind of your thing. The rest of it, I don't know. We're obviously building experience now. Obviously, we've been building cars since before we started filming as well. But, you know, there's still a lot of lessons that we need to learn, and we're not going to learn them until it costs us an expensive fuck up, I reckon. What do you reckon?
That'd probably be the best lesson, though, really.
Yeah.
So
well, you won't make that mistake again.
But, yeah, it's I think one of the things this day and age, it's really hard to... These things here just... They rob so much energy, and I'm one of the worst for it. I'll be the first to admit it. They just rob so much energy. This is where your motivation ends up getting sucked out of your soul. Sometimes you need to just try your hardest to put it down even when you know it feels bad because you're not getting that fucking dopamine hit straight away. You put it down and just go and just do anything, even if it doesn't even seem like it's going to be productive. Just go and do something. And I struggle with that every day. That's why some of our stuff, all of our stuff takes so long.
We've said it before. I think Broomy said it a lot of times, and we've got some other mates that sort of live by the same mantra, but an hour a day will build a car.
Oh, 100%. An hour a day. You're kicking goals an hour a day.
Yeah.
I'm not at that level, nowhere near it.
No. Even if it was just Monday to Friday, when you finish work, you go out to the shed for an hour and you tinker before dinner. Or whatever. If you can do that, if you can set that time aside, then you will absolutely build
even
a car.
write it down. Write what you need to get done down. Break it up into smaller goals so you can, where you hit that spot, if you hit something you don't know what to do, well, when you've got on your lunch break or whatever, on your days off, have a quick look.
Yeah.
You've got a supercomputer in the palm of your hand. You can get any information off these.
And this thing here, YouTube, this is the greatest free learning resource that we have.
Yeah.
There's so much information. There's so many very, very knowledgeable people, exceptionally skilled tradesmen who are giving away these trade secrets for free on YouTube. You've just got to be asking the right questions in the search bar and listening.
And not be scared to fuck something up. That's probably my biggest drama. I always want everything to be like...
Perfect.
Perfect. And I've just... learnt over the last few years, especially on my own stuff. I don't mind it on my own stuff because I'll quite happily redo it again or whatever. I don't care what I think about what I did, but I do always care what, the owner of the car or even you guys sometimes. I want to try and always put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
So just, try not to care too much.
Yeah.
You'll surprise yourself. I've surprised myself with some of the shit that I've done that I had no idea whatsoever.
Like when we did the roof on your car. That was a learning exercise, and that turned out excellent.
Yeah, the engine bay as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've noticed over the last, the last few months while we're doing the wagon, you've been a big one for breaking things up into stages and being like, right, today I'm going to get this bit done. And when you set that goal, it's easy to achieve it. Like, if you manifest it and you work hard, you can sort of, if you got good time management skills, which we don't.
Well, it's just it's having the goal.
Yeah.
So, because at least then, if you've got no goal, well, then you've got nowhere. And that's what I'm still struggling with in a total build concept.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. Not everyone can do it.
No. Broomy says, Bathurst next weekend. Who channels their inner bogan for that one day a year and settles in for an entire Sunday of V8 supercars? Is that something you used to do? Nah. I used to, when I had that commercial shed, I've got the TV up there, but I had that TV set up on the wall there, and I'd sort of go down there. I was building Brad's car at the time, I think, or maybe I'd started Caden's wagon. This is like 6-7 years ago. I'd have a barbecue and I'd have the race on, and we'd just be swinging spanners down there.
Yeah.
And that was like good because it was in, an industrial area, so you could make noise and do whatever, and no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
Which was good. I haven't really. I
think it's probably just the nature of supercars in general, really. I think they're not getting better. They're probably getting worse, I think, as far as just the whole sport in general, I think.
Someone said to me the other day, I think the guys that own the Bend are trying to buy the V8 supercars, or it's not V8 supercars anymore, the supercars franchise.
Yeah, okay.
I hope they don't take away the Clipsal 500. Like that Adelaide street race.
Yeah.
That'd be a shame to lose it. It'd be awesome to have it at the Bend, obviously, but to lose the street race.
You don't have to lose one to go to another, do you?
No, that's right. But
I guess it does have a good rivalry. It's just not the same as what it used to be.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any truth to that or whatever, but that's just a little rumor I heard. Let's go further down. Diesel night at the Bend. Keen to see some coal rolling. Hell yeah, that'd be cool. Couple of guys with some advice for Tim there. Watch some project car videos, listen to some good vibe music, and go for it. That's some good.
One of my favourite things to do
UFO.
In the world, I reckon, like just my happy place is when no one else is around. When I can just go into the sheds, the missus is like out and the kids are at school or something, and it's just me, and I don't really have any. I don't have any pressure to do anything on anyone else's car or even my car. I can just go in, just turn my music on, and just tinker around and just do whatever I just feel like doing.
Yeah.
Bit of world. It's just that's my thing.
How much more do we get achieved on? So like obviously when there's some long welding out stuff, or the fabrication's getting a bit drawn out, there's only so many times you can film you cutting something and sticking it together, right?
Yeah.
I get a few of those shots for the video, and then after that, because you can't have music on when you're filming because YouTube gets shits on, but then we put the camera away. I start editing or whatever on the laptop while you start welding or doing further fabrication. We put the music on. How much more productive do we seem when we do that?
Yeah,
it's a thing.
100%.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
You get a far better workflow, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it brings the vibe up a bit.
Yeah. What's the go with the VR next? We've just been talking about this.
Yeah, I honestly get embarrassed talking about it. I had a friend come and visit me. My mate Ben come and visit me today. I haven't seen him since Motivation. And yeah, even telling him, like, I haven't touched it since Motivation, like, at all. And that's just like, like what you just said before, how do you get motivation? I struggle all the time. I could have had this car. There's no real reason why this car shouldn't be out and about.
Well, I guess when you do get the spare time, you are putting it into, say, other cars at the moment as well, which does make it hard. But yeah, there has been time where we could have. I think we've said it before. It needs a fan shroud.
We're going to try a fan shroud.
Yeah.
To see
So
if
we're
that
going to build
helps.
a fan shroud.
I do believe that's going to help.
Yep. You're going to finish the exhaust because at the moment it finishes at the diff.
Yes.
You're going to run it out the back.
Yeah.
We need to make some spaces for the injectors. At the moment, under pressure, it's starting to unmask the O-ring a little bit.
Just has it's a stupid problem to have. I don't know why I have it. It's got the full length injector in it, and it's just, the chamfer on the intake manifold just allows the body of the injector to move down into the manifold too much, and it unmasks the O-ring. And then if you go the other way, because that chamfer's so big, the O-ring starts to basically lose tension in that as well.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not like we've seen any like major fuel leaks.
Yeah, well,
yet,
the thing that stopped it this far is a quick fix was just to roll an O-ring, like a 3mm sort of, your normal size O-ring, rolled it over the injector body, so that was just took up a bit of space, and now it can't do it. But it's not a good fix. The O-rings are already like fairly well perished, so it's only going to take one of those to break and fall out.
Yeah.
And then we've got E85 everywhere. It's not a good look.
So not only that, like the reason why it hasn't leaked yet is we also haven't got it under boost. Once you start getting that fuel pressure rising up, I think we're at a much higher danger than what we are now. So we'll get those spaces made for your injectors. It's probably 2-3 mil.
Yeah, probably 3 mil.
We'll get that done, and then after
It's just little stuff, the little annoying stuff. That's not really much fun to do.
No.
If I had like a new G series like G45 to put on like all new plastic clamps and alley bends, I would have like done it all. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this. But when it's just the little shitty annoying jobs with like not much satisfaction, they're the ones that are really hard to get done. And you'll notice anyone that's done any sort of project work, the last 10% can be hard to get through it, and a deadline is probably the best way, and for me one of the only ways to actually make it happen, because you're just like, all right, we just got to do it, and you just get in there. So I think the very next thing will probably be the exhaust and the shroud. They'll be both super easy jobs. I've not wanted to put a shroud on it for so long because I don't really like the idea of having the shrouds hard up on the radiator. I've always been a firm believer that you want a shroud sort of, a good 15-20 mil at least off sort of the core and off the end tank, so you've got a bit of bloody room there, so the fan actually can pull through the whole core rather than just where the fan is, and then So that's why, otherwise I would have put a shroud on it when I very first built it. But
if anyone has any insight on that, get in the comments and let us know.
Yeah, there are definitely workarounds, but I'm trying to do something that is start at the easiest and then work my way back to the more expensive.
Yeah.
If I could have, back when I first bought this fan, I was looking at the brushless ones, but they just weren't that readily available. It was sort of really hard to find, and there wasn't much info on them with controllers and all that sort of jazz, so I just went with the normal Spal fan, which is a big unit.
It is a big unit.
So we'll do some more stuff. I want to get the idea is to get the fab done on the wagon in the next month or two, month and a half or whatever, and then we can sort of maybe ship it out and get it here, and we can start doing some of the mechanical stuff here. That was the idea. And then we were going to work on the VY, but there might be another project. It just keeps changing in the background.
So I don't know if you're a recent addition to the channel and you're a little bit confused on the setting or whatever. There is 2 sheds. So this is my shed where we are now. Obviously my utes here, and the sheds are the same size, and they both got a hoist. This one's behind the camera, but where we're working on the low cut fuck truck at the moment is at Kurt's place, and once the fab's done, that'll come here for wiring and mechanical while we get another fabrication project in. So
there's definitely no shortage of stuff that I can do now. We've got so many options.
For sure.
Definitely starting to get sort of more people reach out, like people that we either know or semi-know. Hey man, do you want to do this? So there's been a few projects that have definitely sparked some interest between both of us. I'm very selective.
And that
very,
doesn't
very
mean
selective.
send us
No, not at all. Not at all. If you don't know us, don't.
Chances are, if it's a project that we're interested in, then we probably already know about its existence, and we'll probably not approach you, but we'll show interest at least.
It's more friend circle stuff.
Pretty much. So we don't know if we'll film much of the stuff with the VR, because it is just that small stuff, and it's it doesn't make for entertaining TV. It'll probably be something that we do in the background. See how we go. But hopefully the next time we see that car, it will be ready for the dyno. But we've still got a fair bit to work on with that wagon, which Caden's in the comments here somewhere.
Really happy with how the wagon's come together so far, besides how long it's taken me just to try and find the time, but when we have actually spent time on it, it's come together pretty good, and I'm really happy with everything that we've done so far.
I guess there's a couple here. When we'll see a video on the SLE? And there's a couple other people asking on the video.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very, very soon. Sooner than when we did a live stream. Was it last week?
Yeah, on Instagram, yeah.
When was that? What day was that? Tuesday or one of them days?
Yeah, they all blend together.
And we said, it might be a couple of months. And then what was it, the next day or the day after? What do you know?
It's painted.
There's some jam getting thrown on and it's looking really, really good.
Yeah.
It's getting you're getting a bit excited, mate?
I am getting excited. It's painted. There's only 2 bits that need painting now is the bonnet and the boot lid. The doors are done, the engine bay's done, the boot's done, underbody's done, the interior's done, door jam's done, blackouts are done, except for the beaver panel. The rear beaver panel needs a blackout done on it, but they're just going to let the paint degas for a couple of weeks first. Simon said, look, I've got 100% confidence I could tape off and spray it now, but when you've come this far, why not just wait?
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yep.
So the bonnet and the boot lid will get done. And then, same thing, the whole car is just going to degas for a couple of weeks before he then does a wet sand and a buff on it. And then after that, it'll be ready to pick up. Super, super close. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel at long last. It's hard to show you guys because if I do a video, I want there to be some fairly visual progress. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be a bit of impact or whatever to show you. It's really hard to show you, hey, this thing looks the same as it did before, but they have done work on it, but it still looks fucked because it's still in primer. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to do regular updates when there's not that much change. It would be different if we were doing the work and we could then show the work being done, but because I'm paying them and I'm not there filming because I'm working to earn the money to pay them. It's you go there and look at the car and I can see things that are done, but it's not gonna translate well to TV. Same thing. Everything that we put out for you guys is entertainment. Some of it's educational to a point, some of it's handy tips and tricks, but for the most part, if we're making a video, there's got to be some kind of value to it, whether it be for knowledge or entertainment. And 9 times out of 10, because we don't have a lot of knowledge, it's for entertainment. Hopefully that answers your question. Any tips or issues to look out for a recent owner of a Mighty 5 litre? Never had one. The Clubby is my first. Ooh. AO from Never Late Podcast. He's just picked up a VR Clubby.
Ooh.
Nice little red one.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, I did say that.
Yeah.
In the bloody...
On the gram?
Yeah. Jeez, they're pretty easy.
If it's stock, yeah. Yeah, if it's stock, they're easy. The stock cooling system's amazing. The only problem is you can't really find anyone to tune it with a stock Delco.
But you don't need to if it's not got nothing done to it, really.
If you're going to do a bit with it, then maybe contact someone like Ultimate Wiring Conversions and get an LS computer conversion for it. And then that'll unlock a whole bunch of possibilities for you. But for the most part, they're pretty bulletproof if you're going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
What's your plan with it, though, AO? If you give us a bit of an idea of what you want to do with it, might be able to help. Who makes a trigger kit for the Holden 5 litre? Should we tell him?
Go on.
We've been harassing Reed Speed about this. You're wearing the shirt. Look at that.
Yeah. I thought I'd represent our sponsor.
Yeah.
Reed Speed.
That's it. Big
reedspeed.com.au. Head over there. Get yourself some Billy goodness.
Well done.
Yeah.
We have been talking with Dan about doing a trigger kit for the Holden 5 litre. At the moment, people just make the small block Chev kit work. You can get the MSD small block Chev kit and just, make your own brackets and whatever. That's how most people are doing it. Or they're using like a custom ATI balancer or an Innovators West balancer with the flying magnets built in. That's another way of doing it.
You still need the bracketry though, don't you?
Yeah. But there's no one that does a bolt-on trigger kit for a Holden 5 litre. So that is something that we're looking at doing. I did also ask about doing the external oil pump and that, but Savvy Motorsport do a kit and it is a good kit.
Yeah.
I think to his credit, I think it's one of those things where he's like, look, they already do it and they do it well, so I'm just going to let them have it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make sense to try and crack
Compete.
into it. Like, the Holden stuff's already a pretty slim market as it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's probably why no one's developed a crank trigger kit, because, let's be honest, a lot of guys are too scared to put aftermarket EFI on these motors. It's just like, a lot of the time it's not a done thing. It's, you know, they just want to muck around with the old Delco or whatever, or do the chips or...
Yeah.
So I have no doubt if someone made a plug-and-play harness for a whatever, pick your brand, Fuel Tech, Haltech, friggin' Holly, whatever, if you could make something that just clicked in, you would get a lot of people buying them, I reckon. Because a lot of people are like me, they're scared of wires and spaghetti and stuff. So it's, I get it.
But that's something that we do want to do with Reed Speed. Obviously, we've done the RS1 kit on the wagon, and you've got the 6-rib alternator kit on your car. But when I guess we sparked this partnership together, what we really want to do is help develop some other niche products, because there aren't that
and
many,
then promote them.
Yeah, there aren't that many hardcore 5-litre guys around. So if we see something that we think would be of benefit to the market and it's not available and we can work with him to do it, then that's something that we want to do.
Yeah. Help
support him, because he's been a big supporter of ours. So what else have we got here? There you go. Ricky said, yeah, you are correct. The Shaheens are looking to buy supercars. So they're the guys that own the Bend.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
You know what would be cool? Because I don't really follow the supercars at all.
Yeah.
But when Shane Van Gisbergen went and did the NASCAR dealio, and he did really well, I just found myself watching a few bits and pieces, a lot of content on YouTube with that, and someone brought it up, and I can't remember who did now, but it would make sense to, because NASCAR have changed their platform as well.
Yeah.
It'd make sense if you did have that series, if you imagine if you basically changed to, because it's a similar platform to what we have here.
Okay.
Imagine if you made it identical, and now all of a sudden,
hello, dog.
All of a sudden you can sort of bring NASCAR and supercars, you can sort of do some sort of more international type of stuff, because they're racing the same sort of cars, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, NASCAR I don't know if they still do it, but they had that series where they ran like circuit stuff. That was one that I think it was Mark Sambrose went over.
Yeah,
there
that's what they do. They have circuit tracks during their season, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it would be good for developers as well like the young racers to develop to sort of transition into NASCAR as well, because, V8s are only so big.
Yeah.
NASCAR is, it's a lot bigger, obviously mainly in America. So if you had a platform that was the same as NASCAR, it'd be a good building block also to get more, SVG type characters to transition into NASCAR, you know?
Broomy says, Haltech make the GM Sport ECU that's plug and play in place of the factory Delco.
Yeah.
You are correct. However, I believe AO's is an auto, and 4L60E does not work with the GM Sport ECU. You need a trans controller.
I think you're kind of screwed really with some of the, when you want to retain some of the factory wiring and stuff like that.
I think an Elite 2500 will do trans control now. Don't quote me on it, but I think that software is available, because I think...
Is anyone even buying those anymore? Everyone's just buying R3s
Nexus.
and R5s now.
Yeah, Nexus. So that the GM Sport,
that's a plug-in, isn't it? That just plugs into the factory.
Sure does,
like you use all the standard 5-litre harness, and you just basically plug it in.
Yeah. We were almost going to do that with the VH wagon, but now we've gone with a Holly Terminator X.
Yeah.
And that was easy. We had all the options because it's a manual. We didn't have to worry about trans control.
Yeah. We chose that because we wanted Jeff Johnson to do the tuning for us, if at all possible. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. We'd spoken to him before.
And not to mention that particular product that we bought is pretty well priced, and it's feature rich.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Some people do hate on the Holly stuff and, love the Haltech
I like the
and
product.
vice versa.
I think the product's good. I just wish it was made in America, but then it wouldn't be what it costs,
That's right.
When that came out, that kit was $1,000 US when it first came out, $1,000 US.
Yeah.
$999, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was just made no sense to do a LS computer conversion at all. And obviously they've come up a little bit now.
I missed a prime opportunity. Liam's just called me out. He said, "Give us a crisp mic crack," and I didn't. That means I'm going to finish this and have another one.
Yeah. Jeez, I might have to nearly have one.
Well, the fridge is over there, mate. Just don't kick
The reason
camera.
I like doing it is I've got this stupid cough, and I don't want to be coughing all night. And sometimes I can get like that on the res.
On the res.
On the res, so yeah.
On the res. Hey, boys. Well, this is a long one. Hey, boys. Told you a few months back that I had a Calais Series 2 5-litre. What do you think I should do? Supercharge mine as a daily? And what cost do you think I need to spend? Love the show, boys. Cheers, Ben.
I love me a VS Series 2 Calais.
Oh, my God. My dog. Just let me send my wife a message to say, "Come get this dog. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Hey. Come get this dog."
Oh.
Stepping on cords and shit. Fuck me. We'll be right back. Look at And we're back.
Are we?
We're back.
All right. What? Where were you? I can't
Far
read
out.
any of that. Hey?
Dog was going berserk, tripping all over cords and shit. Fucking hell. You can't deny that this is life. Bad Q, I can still see us. Yeah, you can still see us. But you just can't hear us swearing at the dog. That was the whole idea for the pause screen. I hope you like the elevator music too, by the way. Elevator music was just a last minute add in. I figured if we need to do a wee or get an extra drink or something, we could just do a quick pause screen.
Right, back to the question, Jeff.
Right, back to the question. Series 2 Calais 5-litre, should we supercharge the daily? What cost do you think I need to spend? Right, I am a big advocate for that Harrop 2300 kit.
Mm-hmm.
For simplicity of being able to bolt it on, go get a tune, and just go. That's essentially what this car behind me is. It's got a very archaic version of that. Got the Eaton M112 blower kit, bolted on with the stock bottom end, go get it tuned, whatever, and bang, you're on.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good way of going about it. How much is it going to cost? That's going to depend on your availability, or your availability, your ability as well. What tools you got, what time you got. You can buy the kit for what, 10 grand, non-intercooled?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think you're probably looking at 15 grand for the intercooled kit, or thereabouts.
Yeah.
With a bit of shipping and whatnot.
But yeah, the kit would be. What is the kit? It doesn't come with no injectors or anything, does it? I think you might.
I think at 15 grand you can get it with injectors and the intercooler. I'd say, let's say if you bought it and you could fit the blower yourself and then just toot it down the road to the tuner, you'd probably be into it 20 grand or thereabouts.
Yeah. At least, really, I guess. Depends what sort of drive line you've got as well,
Have you already got an exhaust, like a free-flowing exhaust? Are you going to have someone make you an intake pipe, or are you going to be able to build that yourself? Like there's a couple of caveats to it.
The main things: transmission, fuel system, diff. They're all things that need doing at certain times. Like once you start making any real power, especially if it's automatic.
But how much power are we talking? Like this thing at 330 odd rear wheel horsepower. Say that Harrop 2300 makes 400 wheel. That's got a standard LSD with some 3.9 to 1 diff gears in it. 28 spline.
That's
obviously.
what I mean though. Like the standard LSD and that will probably be cooked. Like that's not gonna be happy. They're old. They're already nearly fucked now. You're not gonna find any good Borgie senders now. Really, you can shim them up and stuff, but essentially you really want to put a true track in it at that point. Really, it's not gonna last. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. But Yeah, it's
being a Calais, so it's going to have the 4L60E in it. That's probably the biggest.
yeah.
That's why I just went turbo 400 straight away.
Yeah. You can make it work. Look, once again, it comes down to your horsepower goals as well. Like if you're happy to put 10 pounder boost in it and make 400 wheel and that's it, yeah, you could put, like a billet servo and some better clutches in it. And I think those 4L60s, a lot of it's in the tune. I think the tune is really key. Obviously, they're inherently weak.
I think the tune is a vital part of it, but you need the hard parts as well to go along with it. Like the problem is you can have the best of everything in it and then have someone just screw the pooch on the transmission tune and then you're back to square one. So
yeah,
that's an important part of it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I find myself wishing I had if Harrop had that kit out before I started ordering my stuff, I probably would have done it. It would have been heaps better.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily heaps better, but a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would have been good. And I'm starting to see a bit of a trend, like the bigger pump, the 2650 pump. I'm starting to see sort of cars that maybe would have went a turbo LS are now like sort of, you've got other options. So the Harrop stuff or the Kong 2650, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think I watched the video today. Well, not I think. I did watch the video today with the Kong 2650 set up on, I think it was a GDS or a Club Sport or something. VF. Makes 1,000 horsepower. We weren't doing that before with sort of under the bonnet style blowers.
No.
You were usually sort of up around the, high 700-800 sort of horsepower region was sort of where you would usually land. So
Yeah.
it's good to have something that can now make, in the 1,000, 1,100 plus to the tyre range.
Yeah.
In a blower package. So.
I think they, I don't know if it was for an LT4 or something. I think they did like a 3-litre rotor pack in that case.
Yeah.
In a 2650 case, maybe?
Not sure.
That'd be pretty sick. Someone's belting on the love heart button down there. How cool. I can see all these things. Yes, sir. Didn't hear it. We'll be back. What events are you going to next?
None. My shed.
Yeah.
I got so much friggin' work to do, dude.
Are we locking it? Well, I'm locking in for motivation. You'll be there.
I'll be there, 100%.
Will your car be there?
Oh, actually, I say I'll be there 100%. My work
Hold on that.
could do, possibly. So, I hope to be there.
Yeah. I'll be there. Mick's locked in. I wouldn't mind getting a few other dudes that we know to come in. And Steve Fiorenza's going. He's got an 1,100 horsepower VP Commodore Turbo LS deal.
Should check in with Ash, see if he's coming again.
Yep. I'm trying to talk Toby into bringing his BF XR8. It's got a blower and stuff on it. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
We could check in with Rob and see if he wants to bring the turbo tonner.
Maybe Rosie's car will be ready.
The Super Camry might be done by then. See how we go. If I get my SLE back and I can put it together as a complete roller, like say if I can put the dash and the seats in and put the wheels on and the bumpers and stuff like that, and there'll be no driveline in it bar the diff, maybe I'd bring that just as a bit of a display piece. I'd talk to the Summernats guys and talk about doing that, but yeah, we would look at doing something like that.
We'll be there.
Yeah,
we should be there.
We'll be there, and we'll be better organised this time. We'll bring like merch and stuff. I think we'll.
You need to bring heaps of shade.
Yes, yeah, heaps of shade. We'll better plan our time this time around as well. Like we'll set times and we'll tell people we'll be at camp for these times. You can come and have a yarn then. Because as awesome as it was being bunkered down at camp, talking to people the whole time, we did miss a lot of the events and stuff. So it's like if we can...
I didn't really care about that.
Well, your car wasn't driving, so... But yeah, something like that. I don't know. We'll work it out. The elevator music was hilarious. Good stuff. Thoughts on Dave Kindig and Kev Dog coming to Australia? Got my ute selected for their show and shine at the Adelaide 500. I didn't even know about that. Dave Kindig, that's of Kindig Customs fame.
Yep.
High elite type Pro Tourer cars.
Yep.
I haven't watched an episode in I don't even know how long. Probably since I last had Foxtel, which was, I mean, yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 years ago or more.
I don't know if I've ever watched it.
Got
That is pretty cool though.
They've got some real nifty parts and stuff. I do like his custom door handles. Well, they like push in, they like mount flush.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, they're
I have
real
seen
nice.
those. They're the ones where you like push one side and it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look sick. That's cool that you got selected for their show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's got a blower and stuff. Actually, that brings me back here. Bang, my boy Tristan. When we be putting an LS1 in that ute behind you, should we tell him? You want to tell him?
You can tell him. I don't know what we're telling him.
It's not going. It's not going to happen.
Not in that one anyway.
Yeah. Not in that one. Actually, that reminds me of, he said, drag Zach's car out. That was the Celsior that was on our Instagram live stream the other day.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty sick. I got to go back. There's a comment on our YouTube that I want to read out to you. I don't know if you've seen it or not. There's a couple actually. So first off, Fu Manchu, he's in the live stream at the moment. I've seen him commenting here and there. An aspirated stroke 5 litre can make 400 pretty easy and probably cheaper than a blown build. Opinions there? Easier?
Once again, like
Yeah.
you
Easier?
you can do it.
Absolutely not. The amount of machining and stuff that you'd need to do. Easier? No. You can bolt a blower kit on in an afternoon. That's easy. Building an engine? Not
But
easy.
you could also buy a
crate engine?
a built motor,
Like a
ready to
PavTech
go. Yeah.
thing? Yeah. Yeah. But how much are those
It
these days?
depends. Yeah, I think the number of sort of, or, you know, the horsepower number is irrelevant. It's kind of what you want out of it as well, because each different type of power adder or, you know, Atmo or whatever, they've all got their different attributes. It depends what you want.
Yeah. He said, perfect. I think that's why I'll go. Cheers, boys. Have you been to Summer Nats?
Yeah,
You've been?
have. Yep. I went to Summer Nats 30.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I have not been. I'd like to go at some point, but it's a hard one for us because motivation is more or less straight after, pretty much. So motivation is local to us. We can drive an hour and a half down the road and do that one, and we can take our cars and all that sort of stuff. If we're doing Summer Nats, we'd have to fly over, accommodation and all that sort of stuff. It becomes cost prohibitive. And it's the time off work as well. Instead of being just a couple of days over the weekend, now it's like a couple of days either side as well.
Yeah.
So,
It's definitely worth doing though.
oh, I'd love to do it, and we will do it.
Yeah.
When
I did it last time, I only went for sort of the day. I was
Yeah.
visiting family over there, and I sort of went with my uncle, and we just sort of went for the day. Whereas I think you've got to make a weekend of it. You've got to sort of go there, make a weekend of it with your crew or whatever. Take a few boys, and just have a good boys sort of weekend of it, I reckon.
Mark my words, Torq Hub will go to Summer Nats. It's not going to be this year. I don't know if it'll be the year after, but we will go, and you will see our coverage of it. You know, we're good friends with the media guys that do the Summer Nats stuff, and they want us there as well. So we just got to work something out. One year we'll get our ducks in a row and we'll go. It'll be amazing. It'd be awesome because there'd be so many people there. Like, it'd be really good for us to touch base with all the people on the East Coast as well.
Yeah.
Back to what I was reading before. Fu Manchu. I've got a question for the podcast. Is it legit that a Group A intake will go for 15K plus now? I've seen 20K mentioned in discussions as well. Surely not. I've seen them advertised north of 20 grand.
Yeah. What they
Easy.
sell for, you don't always necessarily know, but we know for a fact that they've sold for 15. I think
He could have sold
his
that at 15 grand.
10
five-
times. 10
five
times.
over.
I reckon
Yeah.
he could have done it 10.
He had.
But that was also a while ago as well when
Yeah.
you just couldn't get hold of anything. Everyone was buying everything they could because there was that much money getting thrown around. Government was just giving it out.
Yeah. 15
So-
grand in 2023 would be considered cheap for a Group A intake.
Maybe.
Um,
Maybe.
but yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah, I've definitely considered selling mine and selling the turbo setup to fund
A blower.
a blower, like a blown,
Yeah.
and then, finish my motor off as well. But we've come too far now, and I'll never get another one. So,
No.
and it's unique as well. Like you see quite a lot of those Harrop blowers. You're going to see quite a lot of them because they're so good.
Yeah.
You're not going to see anyone stupid enough to do what I've done with mine.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And there was another question on the YouTube community page. Potty question. This is from Kurt Bryce. I think he's in the comments as well. Show yourself, Kurt Bryce.
I did see him there.
I'm pretty sure. Do I recall you guys discussing that Jeff has a few old 5 litres hanging around? You can probably see. Oh, they're just over here. They're just off camera. I've got a couple. A few old 5 litres hanging around. What about an old, cheap Gemini of any year and slot one of Jeff's old 5 litres into it for a drag or burnout rig? Done on the cheap or as cheap as can be. Maybe shout out for anyone who has anything they can donate, maybe a paddock basher or a bush wreck. Thanks. It's like he's in our head.
It's kind of freaky weird.
Because this week and the week before, we've been looking around. I came across a Gemini panel van which had the whole arse end cut out of it. No engine. It had like a dash. He had like a 4-link kit that was just sitting in the box, like just 4-link brackets and a shortened AU diff. None of this was in the car. I think the back of the car was held up by an engine crane in the photos, but it was a green TD, I think, Gemini panel van. And that got us excited, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because we thought exactly that. Let's grab a 5 litre, bang that in there. We've got a spare turbo 350, or there was at the time a cheap turbo 400 on Marketplace. Put that on, like the gears started turning
Yeah.
hard. We didn't have enough money to buy it at the time, nor
And
do
we've
we
got
have the room.
no room. The room is a killer at the moment.
We don't have any room to store it while we're getting through some of these other projects. So it kind of just sat in the save list on Marketplace. But the whole Gemini wagon thing with a 5 litre just as a party car, because that was the other thing. Shout out to Andrew from Classic Lacquer. In the last podcast asked about if we'd build a skid car. Same thing. Got the gears turning.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, okay, like what have we got on hand? We've got a Harrop intake. We've got an engine. We've got a solid roller cam that's sitting there doing nothing. We've got a few bits and pieces. We've got one of those LS ECUs with a conversion harness. Maybe, like it really got us thinking. Obviously, we'd still need a lot of money and a lot of parts to finish it. But the whole theory of it being a party car is that it's not going to have a finished interior. It's not going to have all the mod cons. It's going to have the bare basics. And being that this was a panel van, it had a lot of real estate for signage. It'd just be a good thumbnail type car,
Yeah, a good base. Because I've always wanted to go to something a little smaller, slightly smaller, The LC, Tirana, LJ stuff's kind of a little bit out of reach for what we're doing just because of the sort of the dollars that they fetch. So Gemini's kind of a good consolation.
Yeah. We, I don't know. It got the gears sort of turning because the other one that we thought of in the past was like a VY 1-tonner because it's like got that full chassis and the solid rear end as opposed to the VY that we've got, which is, a monocoque body with an IRS. We thought maybe we could do like a 1-tonner. Same thing. Put like a a VZ or a WK front end on it and put a dirty 5 litre in it. You know, something that it's not meant to have. But I don't know. We've got lots of dreams and
Just trying to get through what we got.
Yeah, no money to pay for it. So it's just a thing. I'm just going to bring up. We've got a couple of voice messages as well. Big guy down under says, I love me a party car. Built a convertible VP with blown 5 litre covered in grass for Nats. I remember that one.
Yeah.
The fake grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Liam Blackley. Yes. Do it. If you do, I'll donate my gauge setup I bought out of Bagham.
Oh, I remember that. That was the pink one, wasn't it?
It
Or
was,
is the
yeah.
pink one. That was pretty cool, that thing.
It was.
Hey fellas, just listening to your podcast at the moment, talk about building a burnout car. What about other forms of motorsport? Would you ever get into roll racing or time attack? Like, I know you boys are from down south in WA, so like Collier's a sick track. Would you ever get into any other forms of motorsport? Cheers.
Would we get in? Yeah. Money, no object. Space, no object. I'd do all of it.
Yeah.
I'd do drag racing. I'd do tarmac rally. I'd do drifting. I'd do circuit stuff. Why not? You know, like I'd do all of it. I'd do as much of it as I could.
Yeah. Drifting would be good to do.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Burnouts. I'd do burnouts. I'd do, you know, if you could have a car for everything, you would.
Yeah. So what would your next best motorsport be then, if it's not sort of drag racing?
If it's not a street
Like
strip car?
what would be the next one you would go, like the most likely candidate for the next?
I used to think it'd be drifting, but I think it would probably, because of drifting is quite cost prohibitive for tyres and just wear and tear, it would probably be like a limited speed circuit type car, or maybe like a tarmac rally. What about you? Because you know, like how we have the Southwest Sprint down south in Bunbury, they've got it in the Halifax industrial area, that kind of like tarmac rally stuff. I think that'd be good fun.
Yeah, no, I'd probably rather do drifting, I think.
I'd rather do I don't know if I'd rather. Yeah, I probably would. I probably would rather do drifting, but once again, very cost prohibitive.
Yeah, I think roll racing's probably one of the not easier, but probably one of the most likely ones to do.
Can't say anything's easy because it's all hard.
No.
What about you guys? If you guys obviously following us, most of you are probably drag race enthusiasts, but what would you do if you weren't doing that? What would be your next choice? All right. Thanks for that, Jamie. We got another voicemail.
Hey boys, long time listener, first time caller, like everyone else says. Just wanted to have your guidance and almost your wisdom on future choices I may make with buying a car. I've currently got an R31 Skyline, but looking to get something a bit more classic and Aussie, although it is an Aussie car. But just wanted to hear your opinion on, I've got currently a work car, a company vehicle, getting good money at 18 years of age, and just wanted to think of your opinion and what you guys would think. The dream would be a H series Holden Kingswood along those lines, but as you know, they're 20k upwards of 25k, 30k. Parents think it's not the best idea, thinking I've got a company car and I may only cruise it, 20 to 30 times a year kind of thing. Is it worth buying a H series car to only drive it 30 times a week, especially at my age of 18? Or do I settle something less and get something like a VK Commodore that I still enjoy and still like, but it's probably around the 19, 20k area? Just wanted to hear your thoughts. Love the potty. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But
Interesting. Two schools of thought there, I guess. First of all, 30 times a year, that's getting a lot of use out of an occasional weekender car if you're driving it 30 times a year. I mean, Yeah, the HQ sort of stuff, that's nice, but like you say, it is pricey. If you've got the 31 and you like it, why not spend the money on that? You know, like if you don't like it, if your idea is you want to move on to something else, then that's fair enough. But if you're looking to spend the money, like you've got to purchase a car, right? So the 31 isn't going to be worth a hell of a lot on the market. You got to buy a HQ or a VK, whatever. Let's say for round figures, hypothetically, you're in 20 grand just to purchase the car. Then you got to spend however much to do it up. Imagine if you spent that $40,000 on the 31.
It's not his dream car though.
It's not his dream car.
I think what the real question is, so you've got a work car, and so pretty much he's saying what his dream car is not something that if the work car disappears, you tell your boss to get fucked, you stick his job up his ass. You don't have that reliable daily type work car anymore. So then all of a sudden you're stuck with a H series Kingswood to sort of get around.
We've just got to be in a position then where you've got that backup where you can buy, and it doesn't, you just buy a fucking VY exec, costs you $5,000,
Yeah.
say.
Because otherwise, you just go for whatever you like, really.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. But then I guess, so the other question is, does he go for the HQ, JX, whatever, or if he goes a VH, VK?
Only he can answer that, really.
Yeah. Same. So I guess the same thing
of those two cars are the same to me.
Yeah. So I guess the same thing then applies. So do you spend 40 grand on a nice HQ, or do you spend 25 grand on a reasonably nice VK with 20 grand to spend?
Yeah. I think it more comes down to how drivable it is.
Yeah.
That really seems like the only question to me. Because if that work car was his car, well, then you'd just buy what you wanted, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about.
No.
So if it was like a H series versus say a more later model, like a second or third generation Commodore, and you liked those, you would probably go that way because you could still get around in it, and it's going to be reliable and stuff like that.
Or you just buy any of them and you put a 6-litre LS in it with a cam, and then you can drive wherever.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're into again. But
yeah, that's more of a personal preference question, isn't it?
it's hard for us to answer, because we don't know particularly your position.
I say go for what you really want, because deep down if you get something that's sort of you're only half okay with, you get bored with it, and I've done it numerous times in a row myself.
That car's one of them.
Yeah. So, in the end, they were all just distractions because I didn't want to work on my car my VR that I've got. So
yeah.
In the end, that was the car that was never going anywhere. So in the end, you might as well just bite the bullet. Do what the heart tells you.
Stay true to your path. Stay true to your path. That's what I say. Just going back through, Caden, he'd be frothing a Gemini panel van.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we would too. It's not on Marketplace anymore, but it has been advertised multiple times, I've noticed. So I don't know if it's actually sold or if the guy just gets sick of dealing with fuckwits. So if we sell a whole bunch of shirts, but if we get to a point where we finish the wagon, we clear up a bit of space and we got a bit of money in the bank, I'm just going to send that dude a message and be like, hey, have you still got it? If he does, then we can talk turkey, because it wasn't super expensive.
No.
It was
probably pretty rough in real life.
Oh, yeah, but that's perfect. Like, for what we were going to do with it as a party car, it already had the whole rear end cut out of it. We're going to tub it anyway. If it's rough, that's perfect, because we can do a little bit of body work and a bit of bog and slap some paint on it and make it close enough, looks good in a photo sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be the reason why, if it hasn't sold, that'd be the reason why it hasn't sold, is because it's a bit rougher than people think. But honestly, that plays right into our hands, I reckon. Messiah Moon. I'd love to turn my daily Visa SSU into a drift car. Probably wouldn't be a bad option. I've seen them drift. They're not bad. Caden says tarmac rally, drag racing, and drifting would be his order. Interesting. Drag racing isn't his first. See, this is what people get spun out. So if you don't know, Caden owns the VH wagon, the rear mount turbo project that we're doing at the moment. Everyone's, I don't think people get that this is not a drag car. That's why, the turbo's too small and the too much lag and this and that and everything else. It's a street car. And if tarmac rally is his first preference, well, that probably speaks volumes for what we're doing, I reckon. Liam says he'd love to go drifting. His little brother goes to Driftability every year. And it's an awesome shout out to the Misfit lads. They take him every year. Dead Set Legends. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
They do a similar thing at Collie Motorplex every year. They have one of the NDIS approved, I don't know, what would they be called? It's a company, people that help out people with disabilities, and they bring a lot of them up to the track, and then you get a whole bunch of people that just volunteer their car for the day. They just roll up there and they just do hot laps, which is great for them.
Yeah.
Speed limited though. They do tell them like 100 Ks is your max.
Yep.
And then they put all of these underprivileged people in the cars, put a helmet on them, they have a fat time. I reckon that'd be an awesome
Everybody
event.
wins.
That'd be an awesome event to do. If you were free on that day and you could do it, it'd be so much fun. Rangry Skid Motorsport, the later H series, like H says, you can still get for a decent price, like low 20s with a 6, sometimes a V8, but with a lot of rust. That's the problem, a lot of rust.
Yep. And that's
What did
what
I
I
send you
reckon
the other
that
day,
Gemini
though?
would have been like. I reckon it would have been hella rusty.
What one?
The Gemini.
Yeah.
I reckon, yeah.
What about that H series I sent you with the
big block one?
454? Ooh, 25 grand, not registered or anything, but whatever.
Yeah, I do love me a H series, especially a Ute.
I was talking to my boy Darren yesterday, and he sent me that big block H series as well. I'd already seen it, but I said to him, "Hey, I got a stock 308. I've got the Trimatic to turbo pattern adapter. We can just pull the big block out, put the 308 in. He knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who can sign some forms, and then we just bring it back home and put the big block in it."
Oh, was it unregistered, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was ready to go, yeah.
No, it was fully complete but unregistered.
Yeah, okay.
It was like, put the stock 308 in it, get it regoed, bring it home, put the big block in. That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
We got one more voicemail here.
Hey, happy anniversary, mates. 1 year of your freaking podcast. What a legend. What a legend you are, guys. That's been more than 1 year that I'm following you, and I'm fucking happy that now we're going to celebrate 1 year of Torq Hub Media Podcast. That's unbelievable. Well done, mates. Congrats. Keep going, keep doing, and just cheers to you, all of you guys. Cheers.
Thanking you.
How good is Alex?
Absolutely.
He's a legend.
He is committed
Absolute
to the
legend.
cause. He's our resident Netherlands correspondent. Always been super supportive of all of our podcasts and our videos as well. Thank you, mate. Appreciate
he's
you.
Awesome. Awesome guy. Thanks for the support, dude.
Remember when I think it was our first ever Instagram live stream, and he jumped on and he was showing us around like that skyline and the just train in the background and shit. It was freezing cold.
Yeah.
That was wild,
It was pretty
man.
cool.
That was such an eye opener. Love that. Psychotic Garage. Got a question. I know most of your stuff is around Holdens, but is there any want or wish for something Euro or JDM, etc.?
I kind of like some of the old 5 Series BMW kind of stuff.
Like an E30,
Yeah.
E36 sort of
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, some of that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
they
it'd
had
be
like
cool.
5 litre V8s and shit, eh?
Yeah, some of them even had V10s in them, I believe. I don't know much about them, but there are particular ones that I like. Some of the longer wheelbase
that-
stuff that looks sort of.
The M5 had a 5 litre
Yeah,
V10.
it did. Yeah. And there was one that used to get around here many years ago.
There was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I
definitely do like the look when they're done a certain way.
There's not a whole bunch of Euro stuff that I'd really like. There's There's a couple. Money, no object, and for the man that already has everything, sort of thing. I'm probably more drawn to the JDM stuff than the Euro stuff. I'd love to have another MA70 Supra. That's like a Mark II. Yeah, Mark II. For all of you punters, I would like one of those. R32 Skyline, obviously, goes without saying. But I kind of, I'm just super familiar with the Commodore stuff. I'd love to put an RB in like a second gen Commodore. That'd be cool. I'd love to do an RB30, single turbo, just like the copy and paste, tried and true sort of combination for them, and put that in a second generation Commodore and cruise that around. That'd be awesome. That sort of gives me that JDM flavor that I'm chasing, but with the familiarity that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it definitely would be good to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
And as we keep going, who knows how far this will go or whatever, but as more resources become available to us, be that being time and money.
Yeah. And space.
And room. Yeah.
That's where that's where we're fucked at the moment. We've got two. We are blessed. Let's be fucking honest. We've got 2 6x12 meter sheds with a hoist in each of them. So we do have some room to store some shit, but then you get to a point where it becomes counterproductive because we know at your place when we've got your car in the shed and another car on the hoist that sometimes we're tripping over things and whatever. It's not great for fabrication. I can, and I have, when the XY was here, there was 3 cars in this shed. So it was the XY, the VH, and my ute. And then we had this area that we're podcasting in that we sort of worked in. But it's not ideal.
No.
It's not super productive space. Yeah. That'd probably be the biggest thing I reckon that holds us back is space. And time, obviously. Thanks for the voice message though, Alex. Appreciate you, bud. You're a legend. And we're honoured to have you here. What else have we got here? After going for a cruise in CB Media's E30, I'm a convert. Would love to have one with a later model V8 in it. Thanks, Bag Q. Thanks for the insight there. Doug, just out of curiosity, are the cars you boys building already registered or do you have to get them registered to get them on the road? Keep up the great local content. Thanks, Doug. The cars that we've been building so far have already been registered.
Yep.
So
yeah, we definitely wouldn't be doing most of the stuff we've done to most of these cars unless they're already registered.
Some of them are engineerable.
Yeah.
They could be engineered. Some of, whether you go down the engineering path.
Which ones could be engineered, Jeff?
VY?
You? Tonner?
Absolutely it could.
Nah.
Yep. Put a 4-pound spring in it and some VE cats on E85. That would be engineered. I promise you. It's been done. The VH wagon could be engineered. I
didn't
reckon.
think you're allowed to do any of that turbo V8 stuff, or if they change that.
Yeah. No, you can. Because, you can get a blower on that registered. You can do a turbo as well. But you've got to, if you put some VE or some Euro 6 cats in it, the emissions thing is the hardest part. So that's why a lot of people do it with the 85 because the emissions is far easier to deal with.
And
obviously, that
wouldn't
one
just be that, though, because the thing is they go over the entire car.
Yeah.
It gets hard.
Yeah. And there's the power.
You look at how much we've cut out of the chassis on all these ones and Rios, and you really start getting down to what we've done to do it. Engineers, they can be getting picky.
Oh,
it is a bit of a human aspect there.
Yeah,
You've got to pick the right guy and this and that. So.
And that's the same with anything you do. Like
none of what we've done would just go over.
If you go to 2 different engineers, you're going to get 2 completely different answers.
Because they've probably got 2 interpretations of the same rule.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, all those cars are registered. My
Jeff's
VH,
done his the hard way.
Yeah, my VH is not registered. The VY V6 Ute that we have is not registered. Your VR is. The VH wagon is. My car is the VS Ute. That is registered and engineered, believe it or not. So that one, you can do whatever you want with that. That's legal. XY was a registered car. So It's a good question though. And look, I think it's the elephant in the room with a lot of channels. You look at Nugget Garage, say with the rear mount turbo super and that, he gets around on the street with that and everyone's like, oh, is it legal? Of course it's fucking not. It's got a 1UZ and a rear mount turbo and an oiling system in the boot and shit. Like, come on, man, for fuck's sake. But most of the shit that we do in Australia can't be done. You know, like, you've just got to accept that. There's always the people that are in the comments that are going like, oh yeah, but that's not legal. Who gives a fuck? I understand that when you get to like, if you go and kill someone, being a dickhead, you go kill someone, then you're in a world of hurt. But if you get to that point and that action occurs, then the illegal modifications on your car are the least of your fucking worries.
It's usually just insurance that's really the main concern for most, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. UFO found an Opel Commodore here in the Netherlands. Think he's tempted to buy it and install an Aussie Holden V8 in it.
Oh, look out.
Could you imagine? If you do that, let me know. I'll sell you one of mine.
Isn't Tri-5 guy, is he putting a 5 litre in? He's got a Commodore
no, so I think
there.
he blew. Yeah, so he's got a VR Ute in the US, and that's got a Buick V6 in it. He blew that up, and I think he put another Buick V6, but it was from like an Oldsmobile. I think it was like a front wheel drive Buick V6 that he then had to fucks with.
Yeah, rightio.
Because like it's the same engine, but it was different. You know what I mean? But yeah, Tri-5 guy. I think that's his YouTube channel name too, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. And he's got a sweet EH as well. Aussie expat over there in the States. Do they have Opel Caravans over there? 2-door Commodore wagon. Oh, you're asking UFO that? Gotcha. 2-door wagon in Birdie. Right. Sorry, guys, just catching up here. What's your thoughts on the 3.8 Ecos and the Buick? Would you build one? Mason's Boltitude. We've got a 3.8 Ecotec, and we will be building it. We'll be putting a turbo on it. See that? That turbo right there. That's going to go in the VYU. We'll build a turbo kit. We've been toying with the idea of getting some L67 rods and pistons and maybe changing.
Look, anytime we talk about anything, it snowballs in the first 7 minutes. It's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right. Pump the brakes. Pump the bloody brakes.
Yeah. We're lucky that we've got the turbo. This was actually one of Caden's old turbos that he's kindly donated to us. I've got a 100mm core intercooler somewhere back yonder. Got that fuel pressure regulator there. Like we've got
all sorts of stuff.
We've got some bits and pieces kicking around, and with a bit of scrap pipe and a few hours of Kurt welding, we will absolutely make that happen. But same thing, we got to put a fuel pump in it, we got to get some injectors, we got to do all kinds of things. But that is the plan with the V6 Ute, is we will build a turbo kit for it, and that will probably be somewhat of a party car, unless that Gemini panel van comes up, in which case we'll probably build the Ute and sell it to fund the Gemini. But there's there's a whole bunch of plates in the air on that. So, but our thoughts on
they're a great platform anyway.
Yeah.
The only thing well, not the only thing, but the main thing I don't like about them is how they sound.
Yeah.
I just don't like the sound of them.
But, I mean, you look at Arcade Garage, you look at Corn-Fed Boost, you look at the Winging It Motorsports guys with that Eco Boost burnout car, man, you can't deny they fucking work.
Yeah, 100%.
And they work well.
Yeah.
To think that car that Ryan Stockham's got, put that out there, I think it's an L67 bottom end with some ring gap and all that sort of stuff, punishes the piss out of that thing with that turbo. And just belt and tires for a couple of minutes straight. Loves it, man.
It's good.
It's so
good, cheap fun.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job on it. I'm big fans of theirs. Coppers are on here. Are they? They probably are. But if the coppers are on here, then they're the good ones anyway. Sweet as. Have you got anything left that you want to cover there, mate?
No,
I've got one thing that I want to finish up on, and it's because it's very fresh in my mind, and it's also because it's on the chip, powered by ReedSpeed.
Yes.
Got to give them the shout out.
Absolutely.
ReedSpeed.com.au, proud supporters of the Torq Hub podcast. Mate, I'm surprised you got nothing that gets you on the chip. You've just come off night shift. You
Yeah.
are going away with the family tomorrow, surely in packing your shit and getting ready to go away. On school holidays, no less, that you've got something that gets you on the
Not
chip.
yet. I'll get there though.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll be halfway down the road.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just feeling so cooked right now. I can't think of anything.
Yeah. I want to get after the ATO.
That's a given, isn't it?
I want to get after
The biggest gangsters known.
bullshit. So, as many of you know, I work in the rail industry. I've been a train driver for many years, and then moved into like a middle management position. And obviously, when you get into middle management, they give you your KPI targets and this and that. You know, you got all these parameters that you've got to meet and whatever else. And not to blow my own horn, but I'm pretty fucking good at my job, right? Reasonably good. Kicking goals, when you go into your performance review, if you do kick goals and you do perform well, then you might be entitled to a little bonus, which is nice. And I need all the fucking help I can get because I don't know if you know, but I've got a car in the build that's turned out to be exceptionally expensive.
Yes.
So going to my meeting, yep, you get a sweet little bonus, Jeff. Love that. Thank you, sir. Ka-ching. Payday today. I check my pay slip and my pay has my fortnightly pay in it plus my short-term incentive, aka my bonus, and my net pay is less than the total of my short-term incentive. So the ATO has fucking robbed me of not only my base salary for the fortnight, but a little bit of my bonus as well. That's all I get in my hand. What the fuck is with that? Don't they know I got a car to build?
That is pretty rude, but we already knew. We know.
That is rough.
We knew, but it just hurts.
It does. It does. I'm just going to say it. Taxation is theft.
100% it is.
What the fuck?
100%.
Let's go after. Look, I haven't done the maths here, right? I'm not a fucking accountant. I'm not, a treasurer or whatever. But if we went after the ASX top 50 companies and we held them to account to be paying tax properly, because some of these companies are making...
they pay tax. They abide by the rules that they are. The problem is the rules aren't made for people.
That's
like you
right,
and I.
yeah,
The
but that's
rules
what I'm
are
saying.
made for those guys.
That's what I'm saying. So with some creative accounting and some very generous and strategic donations to cabinet, they end up paying basically no tax.
Zero
with
tax.
Billions and
Most of
billions
them
and
pay
billions
zero
and
tax.
billions of dollars of profit. Let's hold them to account, make them pay a proper amount of tax. Let's up the GST from, and I'm just throwing a figure out there, let's up
I
it
don't
from
like any of this.
10% to 18% and abolish income tax altogether.
No, they won't do that.
You don't think?
No, no way.
We would
'Cause
all
they-
be
you get-
far better off
You
doing
get taxed
that.
3 or 4 different ways before you even get to do anything with it anyway.
But that
They've
would
got it stitched up real good.
surely that'd be a far better
They
way.
don't want a far better way. They just want as much of our money as they can get.
That's fucked.
You know that's what it is.
So shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty rough.
It was a little bit deflating. You go in to work, and because obviously this has nothing to do with my work. My work are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to recognise that, hey, you did well this year. We're going to give you, an incentive to do the same again next year, or maybe better next year. And then the ATO just come in and go, nah, fuck that. Whoop.
Yeah. Pretty good, eh?
I'm off it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking off it.
Yeah.
That got me on the chip today.
Yeah. And we'll continue to do so for quite some time.
Well, it just hurt especially more because obviously, you get your fortnightly pay anyway, and there's always the tax element, but whatever, that is what it is. But then when you get your bonus, you think I'm going to get my pay and then I'm going to get my bonus, but nah, I get less than my bonus because they've just taxed me the whole fucking lot.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
And I wonder see, once again, not an accountant, but I wonder if it'd be different if they gave my fortnightly pay and then they gave the short-term incentive on the off week, how much different that'd be. But would they do it? No, because then they'd have to do another process pay run, which probably, I'm sure there's a
It'd have to
transaction
make
fee or
some
something.
difference.
Yeah. once again,
It really should be. It should just be a different tax element altogether, or it should be tax free or something. But
yeah. Once
yeah,
again,
robbing-
not going after my employer because, like I say,
robbing
they're
bars.
trying to do the righty. They're trying to,
well, they have done the
incentivise.
righty. They've done all they can do.
But then the ATA is going, fuck me.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
UFO said, you're lucky in the Netherlands. They remove 41% of any bonus you earn. Well, that's essentially what happened to me too, bud.
Yeah.
Arcade Garage, congrats on 1 year of live streams. Keep it up. Well, we didn't do 1 year of live streams, to be fair. We did 1 year of podcast. This is the first one that we've done live. But thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Keeps
thanks,
my
dude.
work livable and something decent to listen to. Decent, we're using that term very loosely, obviously.
Yeah. 100%.
But thanks for that. Dank says, you need a side business that's a good tax write-off. Never paid more than 11K in tax in the last 5 years. That'd be nice. Imagine if Torq Hub could be a sweet little side business, which is where we should probably go
You have
with
to
it.
make some money first.
Well, that's also true, which it does not.
You need to make money so you can spend money to offset your tax.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess that's the long game is that we want to, build some turbo kits that we can jig, some catch cans, some, like bits and pieces that suit. And we're in a very good position at the moment in that we've got a first gen, a second gen, and a third gen Commodore. So we've got the engine bays of all three, and we can sort of map out a couple of bits and pieces. If we had the smarts, if we were smart men, and we're clearly not,
I'm definitely not.
we could have those parts on the website and people could buy those, and that'd sort of be an additional sort of side income for the Torq Hub business. But yeah, as it stands, like I say, we probably make about $3 or $4 on a shirt because we're fierce on quality and we won't sacrifice on it. So that costs money. Heads up, next time we order shirts, the prices will go up because that means we'll be taking a loss next time. But yeah, that's why it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We're paying the extra for like just the small things. Like for each shirt, it's like you're removing the tag off. You're paying extra to get the screen print put on with the logo and the size and the washing instructions and all that.
Yep. Yeah.
Which we're happy to do.
And we're paying extra for the nicer shirt, and we're paying extra because we're getting them screen printed, not vinyl heat press, and like there's a whole.
What's the other one? DTG.
DTG is another one, yeah.
Yeah.
But and then that $3 a shirt that we make, then we're paying for this live stream software, or we're paying for the editing software, or we're paying for the website, or we buy these microphones, which have been the greatest investment we've made, I reckon, because if I take this foam off, you can take that little microphone off, and they're the ones that we use in our videos and put them on our collar. So they've been the most versatile piece of equipment we've ever bought. But yeah, if you think that YouTube's going to replace your job overnight, I got news for you, bud.
Yeah. If you didn't have a lot of overheads and you could do it full time, you'd probably do pretty well.
Yeah, you probably would. Yeah. And
it'd still take a long time, but you'd do all right.
Yeah, and we've said it plenty of times before. If we started 10 years ago when we were younger, if we either moved into my house or your house, both of us didn't have a missus and kids, and this was just like our little fuck pad with our shed, and we just came out here and did this in our spare time, it'd probably be a lot different. But we're in a different realm in our life, unfortunately.
No, you can't be doing it just for the money. You'll never make it.
Nah, absolutely. We were never doing this for the money. What we wanted to do was just promote good quality Australian manufactured parts, as well as, like tuners and just companies, businesses, events and things like that, and just really push it out there, because we truly believe that some of the stuff that you get in Australia is the best you can buy in the world. There's no question. You look at some of the vendors that we use: Reed Speed, Plasma Man, Speedflow, Turbo Smart, Garrett turbochargers. Some of these have, they're maybe not Australian businesses now. They've probably branched out and they've got most of their manufacturing overseas in, say, America or whatever. But a lot of them are still Australian companies, and they kick ass. There's no question. You can't deny it. Last couple of comments before we clean it out, mate. Let's have a look. I can help you guys if you need any performance parts like turbos. Thank you, UFO. But we've got we've got the turbos that we need for now, and we've got our eyes on some Australian businesses if we do need any more. A side business needs clear ideas, whatever can make money, set multiple suppliers and become a brand reseller. That is another thing that we've thought about, is that if we could then buy, say, Speedflow at a wholesale price, and we could then sell it through our website, because some of you guys would buy Speedflow anyway, but maybe you'd prefer to buy Speedflow through us. You know, like we could buy Speedflow direct from Speedflow at the moment if we wanted to, but we choose to buy our Speedflow through Lost Racing Products because they've treated us well in the past.
Yep.
They're local in Perth, you know, like,
and they're really good to deal with as well.
Yeah. So that's probably a bad example, because we would still continue to buy our Speedflow through Lost Racing. But say, for instance, you know, if we became a supplier, you could then buy it through us. These are things that, you know, if we were smart businessmen, we'd do that, but we're not. You need to tell everyone cash is king. If we don't use it, we will lose it. We're going to be a cashless country in 5 to 10 years. We need to use it before it's too late.
I think it'll be less than that.
That's probably a
It'll
topic
be less than
for
that. You don't want to. Yeah,
a different
I need
podcast.
a whole podcast. Don't worry. Jeff's like, Kurt, don't start.
No,
don't
I'm all
start.
for, hey, go.
No,
Because you know I'll be standing right there behind you,
Yeah.
pushing you along.
Yeah, I say all sorts of funny stuff like that. I brought the wrong hat. I've usually
Yeah,
got
this one's not
silver
made
one.
out of tin.
Yeah, it's made out of tin foil.
Yeah, we should weld up a little fucking Torq Hub hat, and then we'll get Chris to laser engrave the front of it.
Yeah, no. Cash won't be a thing soon, whether we like it or not. Unfortunately,
You're right,
I honestly think the whole financial system as we know it is going to change quicker than what we think. It's been changing for a while. It won't be long before it's a centralized sort of cryptocurrency.
Or similar, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to be, which will be a lot worse for us. That's the way it's going though, unfortunately.
And it goes back to the ATO, and fuck the ATO, but they'll be able to track every cent. You know, once it all becomes centralized and everything's digital, and
they can already track.
Yeah, they can track most of it.
Everything, but they'll be able to withhold.
Yeah,
they'll be able to control you just that little bit more. You know,
I've got mates that you know, they deal a lot in cash. They've got a lot of their cash in the bank. Like, most of their cash is in the bank, and they're like, they've been asked, you know, how do you do all these deals in cash? They're like, if I know there's something that I want, I get my missus who works in town to walk across the road and withdraw $1,000 every day out of the ATM.
You shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to get whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But they do that, and then after, you know, a bit of time, they got the money that they need, they go buy the thing. But soon, I mean, Macquarie Bank's already announced it. No more cash. There's a lot of places you can't go to the teller and withdraw cash. It's got to be at the ATM.
And ATMs are vanishing pretty thick and heavy, huh?
Yeah. Particularly, I've noticed I've been banking with ANZ for a long time, and now I'm like...
There's like one bank in Bunbury that I can go to.
Yeah, I'm seriously questioning it, because it's just like, I've got no access to my money now.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I say, that's for a different podcast.
Yeah, we need to start another podcast about that.
That was like Parent Speed. They were originally going to start a podcast for like government... like government chat and stuff like that, you know, politics and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. We could do that, but we're probably not smart enough to.
Yeah,
or eloquent. We're not eloquent enough to, you know, like.
Yeah, I try not to submerge myself too much in it these days. It can be quite depressing, actually. Yeah, you can see the writing on the wall. It's not great. It's not fantastic.
No, something's got to change. Something's got to change, and it's definitely not good for us car guys because of this whole EV thing, and because it's all sort of tied in. But once again, when I keep sort of putting my foot in the hole and like, oh, nah. Cool. All right, guys, if you have any last minute thoughts, please share. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up in the next 5. So after we get back from our little break there, buddy, we got to build a fuel tank. Mm-hmm. We're building a fuel tank from scratch for the wagon. We're going to put a drop hanger in there with, what do you reckon, 460 or 525?
Nah, 460's heaps. Heaps and heaps.
Yeah. Considering it's only going to run on 98.
I wanted to buy that hanger. They didn't have any weld rings the other day. Out of stock. Wicked.
Nice. Just when you need it.
Yeah. I should have bought it ages ago.
Yeah. Just like we say for most things.
Yeah.
There's a couple more. When's the Turbo Eco build starting? Yeah, we did talk about that before. It's probably going to be just after the VH build if we don't get this insert car here, which if that comes in, that'll be more gangster than anything we've ever done. As far as
What are you talking about? I'm lost.
He's asking when we're going to start the Turbo Eco build, but if this other car that we're talking about during the week comes...
Oh, the other project, yeah.
That'll be... The parts and the build itself is going to be the most gangster thing we've ever touched. We haven't done a lot of it, but there will be a lot of work that we will need to put into it to finish it. And that'll be wild, fucking wild. We'd be well and truly...
But yeah, we definitely will be getting in touch because you're the man, I reckon.
Yeah.
Help point us in the right direction.
Yeah. We'd love to collaborate with you, Reese, if you're interested. When we do get the Turbo Eco build starting, obviously Kurt will get all the fabrication done, but we'll probably need some help with probably like tuning and calibration and stuff like that, because we don't know jack about these VY Flash ECUs, so you seem to get around them a bit. So if you could help us out with that, we'd be happy to team up.
We need we need a list of what we need to do to this bloody 4L60.
Yeah.
Because before you knew it, we'd already almost committed to a Turbo 400 conversion.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
Psychotic Garage says, unfortunately, this is a saturated market without a decent name or number behind it. Makes getting your foot in the door extremely difficult. Yeah. We don't have enough subscribers. We don't have enough views, whatever. And it's not to say that we want or need them either. Like, we're very happy doing what we do. But, yeah, if you do want to push the limits of the boundaries, then you do need a bigger viewer base. For sure.
Yeah. Growth has definitely been... What would you say, steady or slow?
I'd say it's definitely slowed off in the last 12 months, but that's our own fault because we've been slower on the content. Or not only that, but I feel like because we keep doing 5 litre stuff, we've already captured the 5 litre audience.
Yeah.
We captured a Turbo LS audience when we did the VY. I was actually surprised at the little amount of growth that we had when we did the XY, because I thought that would have gone a lot higher. That's an epic car and an epic fucking build, and it makes a shit ton of power. I thought we would have probably gained a bit more traction with that than we did, particularly when we took it to Red Center and stuff. But here's what it is. And then, like I say, the 5 litre stuff, I think we've already got that audience. You know, like anyone who's interested in 5 litres and interested in what we're doing is already here. So for us to continue growing, we probably need to do something different, which we don't want to do something different just yet. There's other stuff that we want to do, obviously, but, at the moment, time prohibitive and whatever. So I think when we do the VYU, we'll probably capture a slightly new audience. Will probably be some of Arcade Garage, will be some of... like Corn-Fed Boost. The people that watch that sort of stuff might come across and enjoy some of our content as well. And yeah, like when we do some other different shit, we'll get some different people. But while we keep doing Commodores, I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
it's mainly just because that's all we've got access to, really.
Yeah.
And,
but that's
and sort of what
us.
we like. Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah.
Once we were doing, like, if we ever did this full time, which I would never want to do just YouTube full time, I definitely would only want it as sort of a part thing. Excuse me, but yeah, when you've got more time and you're taking it a lot more serious, you could buy cars and do the stuff to them for the sake of doing it and then move them on. It's just we're not there.
Off the subject, but 1320 Videos recently did an interview with Brent from PFI Speed, and he's now being fined by the government for tuning cars, even though it's the US, it's a good 10-minute watch. That's all to do with that RPM Act, hey?
Yeah.
And
I think I did watch that. Well, I watched something like that, but it was a little while ago.
Yeah. And that's all to do with like emissions and shit, hey? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good watch, actually. I think I did see that one. Or I saw a short from it or something. It was a little while ago. Pick Your Poison needs to be in black and white as well, the same as the Torq Hub logo in grey. About to get my first non-black T-shirt. We would love to see that in black. The problem is that if you start offering everything in a different colour and you want to have some stock of things, then all of a sudden we're holding 120 shirts because you've got it in red, white, blue, black, grey, whatever.
I think it would look fantastic in both those colours as well, honestly.
I think so
but
too.
we sort of early days just made a point of not doing a black or a white shirt, or not a black shirt especially, although I think that design lends itself very well to a black.
It would, yeah. But we made that call straight off the bat. This will not be a black shirt.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, not this time round anyway.
And we've seen a lot of new buyers, but names that I recognise. They've been around since the start, but they haven't bought anything. And I reckon it's just because they don't want a black shirt, which is fair enough, because they do get hot, you know, like, but they do lend themselves well to working in the shed. Because as you all saw, we did the coilovers on the VH. I was wearing the grey shirt and it got fucking filthy.
Yeah.
I did soak it and most of it came out. Like, it's all good. And because of the colour, it lends itself well because that grey marl, you know what I mean? Like, you can hide a multitude of sins with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. We made the point and it does... That comment.
Look, we're not going to say never, because I personally wanted to order a couple of black just for me. I'm getting a couple of these in black, but I think we might need to change the screen a slight bit as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the print would be slightly different, so we'd have to get it sort of redesigned, which wouldn't be too bad. Put it this way, it's not going to happen in the immediate future, but if that design gets to end of life, we may do it as a re-release in a different colour.
yeah, once we sort of extinguish that stock, maybe.
Or it might come in, say, a black hoodie rather than a black tee or something like that. I don't know. We don't even know what we're doing with it, to be honest. We just love it because it's fucking sick.
But I like where your head's at anyway. Definitely.
RK would love to collab with us, 100%. That's sick. Thank you, dude. UFO says we have a good community. Abso-fucking-lutely we do.
Yeah.
We are super grateful for every single one of you guys that watch our videos, like, comment.
Yeah. And even just give us the time. Like, man, I say to Jeff all the time, and it's probably...
There are some dudes that have no business being here watching us fuckwits.
Dribble shit.
Yeah. You know, even on our normal videos, and they get around us and they give us support and advice and, you know, like feedback
and want to help
what we do. Yeah.
And that's what keeps us going, really, because it's a lot of work, especially on Jeff's end. All the editing and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like today, doing the whole merch thing as well, because
Yeah.
you were flat tack yourself. You know, it's
Yeah, I kind of felt bad that I wasn't able to help, but it's
So
just
you
how
should.
it works out, you know.
So you should.
You dog. But yeah, like I mean, look at all that effort. A lot, mainly you, but you know, we've put into that whole shirt thing. Monetary wise, there's not much there, but we're still pumped because people want to actually buy a shirt and just wear it. You know, that's something.
Anytime
it's something that we've come up with this design out of our
Close to the mic.
you know, out of the you know, out of thin air, and now people are paying their hard-earned money to wear it. So that's you know, that's the enjoyment.
Anytime I get to see someone, they send us a photo of our sticker on a car or at, you know, a venue, or shit, we got a photo the other day of one of those QR code stickers in the Macca's drive-through from somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Caden sent it to us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And it's like when you see people that see it, they take the photo and they send it to us, and that just fucking makes my day, man.
Yeah.
And whenever I see someone wearing a shirt, even if they're in the middle of a conversation at dinner or whatever, I'll just walk past them like, that's a good looking shirt, man. Give them a pat on the back and keep walking. Because obviously I don't want to interrupt a bloke, you know, having dinner with his family, but I do want to acknowledge the support. And like being able to deliver that shirt to Steve Curtis today and shake his hand. You know, he's got some other stuff. He's bought some other shirts before in previous drops.
Yeah, he's always supporting us pretty solidly.
But
Steve.
to be able to, you know, roll up there, give him his shirt personally and shake his hand, I was pumped on that. If I could do that for everyone, I would. If I could just jump on a plane and plane hop and deliver all of your shit personally and thank you in person, I'd love to do that. But Ozpost will have to do.
Yeah, you'll do Ozpost out of a job and do that.
Yeah. Do myself out of anything. I'll be bankrupt. All right. Take us home, baby.
Rightio. Thanks for tuning in as always, guys. You know, we're talking about all this merch. If you haven't got yourself something, head to the website, torqhub.com.au. We've got all the cool stuff there. Leave us a message for the next podcast if you want to have another talking point, which I'm sure we're all talked out tonight.
Actually, that's a point to bring up because people have sent us an inbox going, oh, I'm always busy when you need us to give us a voicemail. The voicemails are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you go to torqhub.com.au, there's a red button on the right-hand side of the page, and it's open all the time. As soon as it comes to your mind, you can go to the website, bang, hit it, send us the voice message, and it's there for the next podcast. It doesn't ever shut. 24 hours a day. You can send us a voice message whenever. You could send us one right now. If you sent me one right now, I'd play it, but we'll probably be finished by then.
Yeah, so, yeah. As always, thanks for the support. Thanks for enduring listening to us dribble shit for a couple of hours, I think it is.
Yeah.
I
hope you enjoyed
2
this.
hours.
I hope you enjoyed this special edition live stream podcast. If you are listening later on Spotify or whatever, thank you for listening as well.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Now I got to figure out how to finish this thing.
What, you don't know how to turn it off?
Nah.